Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? In today's video, we have some more news relating to Fallout 76, specifically changes and updates coming to the Legendary Run and the S.C.O.R.E system, including some of the recent bugs that have been affecting it, as well as some details on a couple of new community events that Bethesda are running around Fallout 76, and the upcoming Double XP weekend. So, let's jump in and take a look, shall we? Okay then, so new Inside the Vault blog post. Bit of news on the game, always good to have. An update on challenges and S.C.O.R.E first and foremost. So there's been a few things going on around this system. Obviously it's brand new, only been in the game a couple of weeks, so it's starting week 3 now. So a couple of changes coming that Bethesda have implemented to try and iron out a few creases. So over the past few weeks we've been actively investigating an issue that can cause daily and weekly challenges to automatically complete for some players. As part of a hotfix release a few days ago, we implemented some logging to help us more effectively track down the root cause of the bug. We've also included a fix for the issue, which enabled us yesterday after reviewing the information from that logging, which was enabled yesterday rather. Our data shows that this fix has addressed the vast majority of instances of this bug, and we are pursuing a more complete fix in the next few days. We apologise to those of you who've lost your chances to earn some S.C.O.R.E due to also completing challenges. While we can't grant you replacement S.C.O.R.E directly, we are planning to add some additional challenges to help make up for the S.C.O.R.E that you may have missed on. Big deal, this bug recently. It's been one of the more annoying ones, and one that a lot of people have encountered with their challenges auto-completing and not crediting them with any S.C.O.R.E. Bit unfortunate that Bethesda aren't reimbursing people, but I think the couple of major reasons for that being that it's sufficiently widespread that it would be difficult to make sure they get to everybody and give everybody the right amount of S.C.O.R.E. If they end up missing some people out and only crediting some of the people who've encountered this issue, then those who miss out are obviously not going to be very happy about that. So rather than risk that, they're not going to do it. And the other thing as well is how much S.C.O.R.E people would actually have earned during that period is open to some debate. A lot of people probably would be grabbing every single challenge, but not everybody will. So tracking that down and making sure they don't just give it out to everybody is a difficult thing. I mean, they could do that, but the way the system works, obviously, is intended to reward those who dedicate the most time, so just handing it out for free kind of runs contrary to that. So that's probably why they're not doing it, I think. If anybody's got concerns rather around the logging thing, it's probably worth noting that Bethesda tracks a vast amount of data on what everybody's doing in-game anyway, as do every other company who have an online game like this. So tracking what players are doing is just part of their development of the game, so fairly standard. There's nothing unusual about that, but it's an effective means to track down and try and find the root cause of the bug, as they put it. So hopefully they will succeed on that. From the sound of things, they think they've managed to catch the most part of this issue, which is good, and they want to make sure that over the next few days that they've nailed the problem down altogether, which is cool. So good to see that they're not holding off on patches or anything like that, not waiting till the next patch comes out next month. They're actually just getting stuck in and trying to fix the issue as soon as possible, so that's always good news. So, replacing the S.C.O.R.E, obviously, as I said, they're not going to be doing it directly, but they are going to give everybody more opportunities to make up for some of that S.C.O.R.E. So some of those we know about, some of those we've sort of discovered over the last few days. So, to start, we've added bonus daily challenges every day this week, meaning there are now a total of 9 dailies you can complete up until July 20th. So, they mentioned on Twitter the other day that they'd tested this over the weekend, last weekend. Put a few extra challenges out, see how that went, see how people interacted with it, that sort of thing. And earlier in the week re-implemented it in a grander scale. So apparently that's only running through till July 20th, which I believe is Sunday, isn't it? Monday. Should have known. So yeah, it's only running through till July 20th, but it's a few extra opportunities to get some extra bites at the apple. I'd like to see them extending that, to be honest. The thing with season passes and the Legendary Run, things like that, are that obviously it's intended to reward the people who put the most time in. So the highest ranks are there to be dished out to people who commit the most to it. That's the whole premise of the idea. And those who don't, obviously won't make their way through the whole system. But for those who have sort of real-world commitments, things like that, that make it very difficult to commit that amount of time to the game, it kind of sucks. It's the drawback to the system, but it is what it is. But for those who are not bothered, don't really want to put the effort in, then fine, you don't get the higher level rewards. That's standard. But for those who literally can't, it does kind of suck a bit. So putting the extra rewards in means that you get sort of extra bites at the apple, and those who have limited time can progress further, which is nice. It's a nice balance with that. It gives, like I say, those with limited time more opportunities, but doesn't detract from the best rewards being focused on those who commit the most time to it. So it's a good balance that I'd like to see them maintain, adding a few extra challenges in there. There's also a few challenges, for example, that I don't like much doing. The nuclear winter ones spring to mind, and some of the group-based challenges as well. So for people who are in a similar boat to me on that, then if you happen to miss those, you've got more bites at the apple, you don't lose out so much. Previously, with the number of challenges they had, if you missed more than one challenge, then you'd also miss out on the complete 5 daily challenges thing. Now, with 9 shots at it, you don't do that, so that's quite cool as well. So I would like to see this persist beyond July 20th, but for the moment, that's what we've got. So we're looking into additional challenges as the Legendary Run continues. For example, we're planning to add some bonus weekly and daily challenges to the final week of the season. So for the last week, those of us who will probably be a little bit short of it will get a few more bites at the apple to try and make up those last few levels, which is cool. We have our first double daily score bonus event coming up, which starts on July 23rd, which is a week today. So that will be daily score only, but it will give you twice as much score as usual for completing those daily challenges. So that's cool. We knew about this already. It's in the community calendar they put out a few weeks ago. So not particularly new there, and definitely not a response to the issues they've had. But it's an event I'm looking forward to. There's opportunities to kind of push on a bit and make up a few extra levels will be nice. So, finally, many players have been asking about when they will be able to rank up using atoms. We initially delayed this from July 14th start date, but we plan to enable purchasing rank ups with atoms starting today as an option for those of you who are so inclined. We would once again like to apologise to those of you who are affected by the challenge issue, and we continue to look for opportunities to make up your missing score this season. In the meantime, we hope you enjoy the added daily challenges and the upcoming double daily score event. So, I'm curious as to why they delayed this rank up with atoms thing. I'm assuming there was something going on their end, but they haven't specified the reason, which kind of, raises the eyebrow a little bit when they don't say. And to be honest, it probably doesn't make a great deal of difference, whether good reason or bad reason they've delayed it. It is what it is, but I am curious as to what was going on there. Either way, that should be coming into force today for those of you who do want to buy some ranks. Obviously, it's 1 rank at a time, 150 atoms a rank. For those who want to buy a lot, it can get anywhere up to the region of the £90 mark if you wanted to buy them all. So I wouldn't rush towards it. I've said a couple of times, and others have said as well, that the likely scenario is buying the last couple of ranks that way if you're running out of time, and that's probably the best way to do it. So, it's entirely optional though, and there is plenty of score available, especially with the extra challenges and the double score weekend coming up to get right the way through the Legendary Run if you've got the time to commit to it. So, on to the next thing. Community Showcase. Fallout 76 has an incredibly passionate community, and we love being able to celebrate everything our players create in-game. To help you showcase your talents and put them on display for all to see, we now have 2 ways that you can share your creation with us on a monthly basis, each offering you the chance to be featured on Fallout.com. So, a couple of things, one of which has been running for a long time, the photo challenge, and a camp-specific version of the same thing, allowing people to show off their camps and hopefully get them featured, so more people can see them. I feel like they're nicking ideas from me here. I'm sure they're not, but still, it's something I'm debating whether or not I'll go for. I may submit a few photos, we'll see how I feel. I have to consider the pros and cons of that over the next few days. So, there's nothing quite like finding a perfect place to call home sweet home in Appalachia. Since Fallout 76 launch, we've seen tons of our players post about their impressive, gorgeous, and sometimes strange camp designs. You dedicate tons of time to perfecting your wasteland abodes, and we'd love to spotlight your hard work. I think that's a fair comment. There are some weird builds out there. People with some interesting concepts have floated around on Reddit and the like. So starting this month, we are now accepting submissions for our monthly Camp Creations series, where you can show everyone what you've been busy creating. Each month we will feature a new theme to help inspire your architectural and interior designs, and July's theme is outer space. Submissions are open from now until July 31st, which is when our first Camp Creations article will hit Fallout.com. Be sure to read the Camp Creations forum thread for more details, snap a few stellar photo mode shots of your build, and add them as a reply. So this link, as usual, is available in the blog post, which will be linked in the description if you want to get over to the forums quickly. Otherwise, you can search the forums the old-fashioned way, and I'm sure you'll have no problem finding it. But yeah, as with the regular photo mode challenges they have, just add a reply to the forum post, and they'll scour through them, with the theme this month being outer space. So yeah, I might have a crack at that. We'll see how I feel. there's a few things in the Legendary Run that will contribute towards that, so we might have to push on a bit and see what we can get, see what's available to create that outer space theme a little more successfully. Presumably an in-house, one of the developers has presumably submitted their camp for the blog post here, which is quite cool. Around Appalachia, this is the photo competition thing that they've been running for, well, just about ever since the early days of the game. While you're admiring your fellow dwellers' camps, swing by the photo mode submission thread for Around Appalachia as well. Every month we select our favourite photos to feature in an article that celebrates all the amazing shots you take. This month's theme is Creature Feature, and there's still plenty of time to submit your photos before entries close on July 27th. Creature Feature this time around, basically any photo mode shots you grab, or practical camera shots as well, those will presumably be perfectly applicable. Submit those to the forum thread as before, and you never know, you might get featured in an article. So that's something they've been doing for a while, but it's another opportunity for players to have their work showcased and for the community to basically be promoted a little bit. And a fun community event. So that's quite cool. Quite pleased to see Bethesda doing things like that. And last but not least, as we know, Double XP weekend this weekend. Prepare to level up with these this weekend because we're kicking off a new Double XP event a little bit later today. Whether you decide to take on some quests and events in adventure mode, or go creature hunting in your private world, square off with other candidates in Nuclear Winter, or anything else this weekend, you'll rake in twice as much experience along the way. As we suspected, this counts towards your XP and level up daily and weekly challenges as well, so you should be able to pocket some extra score. Catch the event details below, and we hope you'll join us in Appalachia this weekend. So yeah, yet another Double XP weekend, always welcome, especially given that the level up challenges only get more challenging as time goes on, each level being harder to achieve. So, the event, as usual, starts 12 PM Eastern Time today and runs through till 12 PM Eastern Time on Monday. That is 5 PM in the UK. So, all in all, a few very, very cool updates. Good to see Bethesda addressing the issues surrounding score and challenges and that sort of thing. Waiting until the patch at the beginning of next month would not have been ideal, I think, especially because it's a timed event, basically. So, the longer it persists, the more problems people are going to have getting to the end of the Legendary Run that might otherwise have made it. You know, people might end up losing out because of the bug that would have otherwise made it. So good to see them not waiting and just addressing this in hot fixes. Hopefully, so far the main thrust of their efforts to fix it will be successful. We'll see how that goes over the next few days, no doubt. And hopefully any subsequent updates they do in the background will iron out the last few creases. But it's very cool. Very happy, as I say, to have the extra challenge opportunities. That's always good. I'd like to see it persist for longer, but so far so good. Hopefully they'll get plenty of feedback on the response to this, and people will be generally positive about it, and hopefully then they'll go ahead and give us a few more challenges a bit more often, which would be great. So, Double XP, always good as well, and yeah, I'm interested in this camp-based photo mode challenge as well. I might give it a go. The theme thing is probably a good thing. It means makes it a bit easier for them to collate things, and they do a new monthly challenge as well, so that's quite cool. Stops them doubling up on camp builds rather than accidentally featuring the same one twice as well, so it's probably a practical consideration there as well, which is cool. Yeah, have to have a little think to see whether I'm going to do an outer space themed camp. Hadn't planned to, but that might be cool. Speaking of camps, going to have a new video up either tomorrow or Saturday. We'll see how the edit goes. It's well underway at the minute, but that should be pretty cool. Got a nice little player home to show off, and it should be a nice detailed tutorial, this one. It's kind of partly aimed at new players as well, so hopefully it'll be useful to a lot of people and help me figure out how I approach building. So should be a good little video, that one. I hope you'll enjoy it. Do watch out for that one. As usual, do have a look down in the description for social media links, merch store, and channel memberships if you're interested in such things. The support in that regard is hugely, hugely appreciated. So thank you very much to everyone who's done that. And keep an eye out for our live streams as well. Continuing to play Fallout, pushing on with the Legendary Run, and doing a few other bits and pieces besides. And we're going to play a bit of Baldur's Gate in the run-up to the end of the month, beginning of next month rather, when we will be playing a little Horizon Zero Dawn on the side as well. So very much excited for that. So do hope you guys will be able to make it for that one. For now, I'll say thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you all very, very soon.